Hi Soul Fam, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel, Spiritualdaosith. I'm daosithlemay. Hopefully you are all doing great out there. If you're new, please subscribe. Follow me on my other social media platforms in the description box below if this video resonates with you. And if it doesn't, just leave it. These just happen to be my truths and they don't need to be yours. So we are doing the energy update for February 2024, where I share the numerology, the astrology, and some of the major energetic themes that may be impacting you this month. This is my second attempt at doing this, so hopefully the audio is working and you enjoy this version. So before I go any further, go out and get my book, Becoming the Creator, A Practical Guide to Spirituality and Connection, the timely material for many of you going through an awakening on your own spiritual journey. It just needs some practical guidance and exercises given to me by my guides and what I've gone through in my own personal life so that I can find more peace and joy and love in my life by understanding who I am, that I'm the creator, and I'm always connected and loved by Source. All right, you can go find that at my website, spiritualdaosith.com, or on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Books of Millions, etc. It's all out there. All right, so what did I tell you about last month, right? That the energy was going to be crazy. We were coming out of January with regards to new beginnings and endings, and that in particular, what I had mentioned in my major energetic themes for 2024 was that the collective mirror was going to start to reflect all sorts of things, and reality will start to feel like science fiction, like we're blending in between what is real and what is not, and all those stories and timelines being played out in the reality for us to digest, filter through, and to decide which way we want to go. So here are some of the headlines. There were so many headlines last month that I really couldn't keep up with it. So I just thought I'd list off a bunch of them that I thought was worth mentioning. First is the Red Sea shipping channel being halted because of hijacking and pirating. Japan was hit by a major earthquake. The Harvard president, the prestigious institution Harvard, the president resigns over plagiarism. There was a Miami Mall incident, which in some whispers had this story or timeline with regards to 10-foot tall beings and basically the entire city of police being brought down to the mall. The Epstein list was disclosed, and all the information that came about that, who was on that list, and that Epstein was a Mossad agent. Underground tunnels being discovered and destroyed. Especially that one in New York City recently with the Jewish community. About more protests happening, the Polish people revolting against their government, the farmers all over Europe fighting against their government, parking their tractors, spewing manure all over buildings, blocking roadways, entryways, exitways, you name it. Major energy theme that I had mentioned here in the 2024 year. We had Yemen being under attack or being basically bombed by the US and the UK. John Kerry and other high executives, high political figures stepping down from their roles and no longer seeking re-election. Legislation to defund the WF, right? That's a big one. And then major issues with Boeing and planes catching fires and doors getting sucked off out of in mid-flight. And then you had Donald Trump saying he's not going to allow central bank digital coin, as well as him winning Iowa and New Hampshire. And then Tucker Carlson going after Trudeau in Canada, and also the border fight with the feds. And lastly, Utah abolishing the DEI policies that's being pushed around in our reality. So lots of things happening out there. It's going to continue to be incredibly intense and wildly insane as we go forward. And this month is going to be no different than what we experienced in January. What I will say with as a shot across the bow, especially regarding what we are experiencing from a vibrational standpoint from the media, news, radio, television, etc., especially the mainstream or the lamestream media. They want you to see what they want. Anything out there, what I typically see being promoted is some level of agenda around hatred, separation. It's being pushed out there. And you have to see beyond that, folks. And what I can tell you is like the new earth, the revolution, the new consciousness coming up, that will not be televised. What they're really showing you is what they want you to see. And they're trying to do things to push you in a different direction, to keep you separate, to keep you small, to keep you angry, and keep you fighting. So just be mindful of what you're seeing is not really what it seems. It's not the full truth. So use some of your intuition, use some of your logic, use some of your common sense, and filter through these things before you emotionally react to these kind of things, okay? So now we're going to talk about the numerology for the month. The numerology for February is obviously around the 2. This is about contrast. This is about conflict, duality. It's about understanding the opposite. And in many ways, it's almost like becoming the go-between or the diplomat, because you are dealing with two opposites. All right. And so this is a very changing energy, a very adaptive energy. And it seeks to balance between these things, between the two. So you bring that into the numerology for the year, which is around the 8, which is around manifesting, assumption of power, about creation, about learning from what we have gone through energetically, 1 through 7. It's about bringing those things into reality, into the material aspect. It's also about karma. It's about the things that you have put in and really reaping what you have sowed in this situation. And it's also about authority, reward, as well as movement and the masculine energy of creating. So you take that energy, you take the energy of the month, you get an overall energy of a 1. This is another huge wave of new beginnings for everyone. Just coming out of the January, which was another new beginning and ending as well. This is really pushing you forward here. We're getting another potent force of new beginnings getting forced onto you to make you balance out some of the things that were dysfunctional, that was imbalanced, that was not good for you going forward. So this is like moving into the new now, out of the old, and to find a new perspective from whence you came, that the energy needs to be balanced out so that you can find a higher state of being, one that's probably a lot more peaceful, joyful, in alignment with your highest timelines going forward. So I want you to think about this in terms of the political atmosphere, the geopolitical atmosphere. It feels like there's major contrast between ideologies. And think about what's really occurring right now on our collective, just what people are fiercely fighting and arguing about today. And you'll see this month, a lot of those things come into a head and something manifesting to help balance out these things. So I certainly think the conflict, if you're afraid of conflict, you're going to have to be a little bit more open and bring your awareness to it, because through the conflict brings this balance that gets manifested through this energy. So what is the astrology that's going to aid this forced balance within you as a new beginning starts and manifestations in the reality of your life starts to take shape? First is the last quarter moon in Scorpio on February 2nd. Now, this is the 2-2 date here. This is where transformations are starting to clear out, and we're really getting to the core of what it needs to be transmuted. So endings are going to be extremely intense, and ultimately lead to solutions that need to bring balance into your life. Now, with the 2-2 number, the 22, that's a master number, commanding you to be balanced in your emotion, your mental, so that you do not create unwanted timelines through reactions that aren't for your highest good. It commands a level of maturity during this time frame. So be mindful as we enter into February that this is going to be a potent time commanding mastery, maturity, so that you can go through your transformation with mastery and to create what you want going forward through balancing out energy. All right. The 5th of February, Mercury goes into Scorpio. Transformations lead to strong and sudden insights to help you think out of the box. You'll want to chat with friends. You'll want to chat with family. You want to work on plans for changing your future. Okay. So, you're going to sense this wave of wanting to be, stand in your authentic self. You're going to want to hold your light more. You're going to want to talk about that. You're going to want to be empowered. This is what this energy is about this year. So that leads us into the new moon in Aquarius, more Aquarius energy. New moons, I talk about the lunar cycle. Great time to start putting the energy out for what you want to manifest going into the full moon. The new moon in Aquarius is going to be a great time to focus on change for more independence and to experiment with that energy of wanting to be independent, more authentic, more standing in your light and who you are, and really holding that energy. You're going to expand outside your comfort zone, and you are going to potentially meet new people to help you build your future going forward. The 13th of February, we're going to have Mars enter Aquarius. This is just going to be a major spike in energy in the Aquarius energy to motivate you for change for your future. On the 14th, which is obviously Valentine's Day, you're going to have to open up your heart and really honor the relationships that you have in your life, whether it's romantic or not romantic. It's going to be a time for you to look at yourself, honor your co-creators, and be heart-centered around it. On the 16th of February, Venus enters Aquarius. More energy around the Aquarius theme here. And then you're going to have this really focusing on your relationships that will shift and change to reflect the need of your future desires, right? Spending more time with people, opening your social circle up to other people. That could be a network, a community to help you move along your path and to validate who you are as you step more into your independent, authentic self. This is also going to be the first quarter moon in Taurus. This is going to help bring some of this energy down and grounded to help you focus on more earthly things that need attention to help you be more productive, because the sun moves into Pisces on the 18th of February, and this is where your intuition picks up. This is where your connection with spirit starts to pick up, your passion with spirituality and spiritual growth, and letting go of the old and releasing what needs to be released. All right, a lot of us can get lost up in this energy, especially when we move into Pisces, and that's going to be even more so when on the 23rd, Mercury enters Pisces as well, and this is where your imagination and your creativity really start to get picked up. Don't get too lost in la la land. Don't get too lost in your fantasies about your future. Try to ground some of that energy, help you be practical about it. How do you put that to use to your everyday life so that you're building upon that energy going forward for your highest good? The last thing will be Virgo and full moon on the 24th. This is about grounding, bringing some productivity, maximizing your productivity, and tackling things that need to get done. Making sure you're bringing balance between what you're imagining, what you're fantasizing about, and then bringing it down to the earth and anchoring it and getting things done. Bringing order to your life that is in alignment with what you want going forward. All right. So there's that balance theme we're talking about here. You're going from one level down to the other, finding a balance between being connected to spirit and being grounded to the to this earth and this materialistic world. All right. New beginnings, manifesting, finding the balance between the contrast and the things that really need to be balanced out in your reality. So what are the energetic themes that are going to be playing out for many of you? The first is, this is where manifesting in the physical reality is really going to start to take shape. The things that you're desiring this month or in your life are going to really start to take shape this month. So manifesting is really going to be kicked into high gear. You could see new timelines. I just feel like new timelines. Things are opening up, new timelines in many different levels, many different ways, and so many different complex ways. So like we're talking about new jobs, new workout, new diet, new you, new career, new relationships, new house. definitely a change is occurring on the physical level that will help you move you into where you're supposed to be and where you want to be going forward. This is huge with the Aquarius energy that's pushing, and especially coming out of January, when we were dealing with closing things out and new beginnings, lots of physical movements going on. So if this is you, ride that energy, be with that energy, see how far it takes you. Be grounded in it as well. Don't let it send you off high up in the sky and you don't have anything tethered to the ground. Find a way to be balanced within that, and you could really get a huge beneficial tailwind to you and make things happen for you this month. All right. The second thing is, as a lot of you are going through these new beginnings, manifesting things, realities that are showing up in your highest good, a lot of others are going to have these new beginnings start to kick up, and that's going to be all about more transformations, right? Transformation is going to continue to be a theme, and it's going to continue to happen this month, and lots of it's going to happen even more so. It's going to be kicked on a little bit higher, and it's not going to stop. I've been saying this for many of you, and I've been saying this for the energetic themes for 2024, is that you'll see a continued brightening of one's light. You are going to stand more in for what you believe in, for what you think is true, and you won't downplay yourself anymore. And this is going to have massive effects both individually and collectively. So this time period, this month, a lot of you are going to tap into your creative power, your creative potential. Your instincts are going to be really powerful for you to move through this time period. So that means you need to trust yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to trust your intuition and understand that what you are going through is not by coincidence. It is there for a reason, and you're being pushed by your higher self and the collective to move in a better place for you going forward. So that means don't discount who you are. Don't reduce your light. Don't make your light less brighter because of others and what in the face of adversity, in terms of kind of like social structures and as well as what society thinks of you. No, do what makes your heart sing. Follow your passion. Be in your light. That's what's going to help you claim your empowerment back. That's what's going to help you transform and move through these times to align with the new earth energy, to align with your highest good as you go forward. Your heart chakra is probably going to be an area of focus this month, because this is the node between the higher and the lower chakras. This is the node between the etheric realms versus the physical realms and the physical chakras, right? This is where things get balanced out. And I would have to say that for a lot of you, this time period may manifest things to help you move to your heart, but that's going to manifest things in the lower chakras to help you reflect what's blocked, and so that energy can move, and so you can allow energy to move up to your heart chakra, and so you can spend more time and energy there rather than fighting these lower chakras. By doing that, though, what you'll also may find is that you may see your third eye open up a little bit more, because now the energy is starting to flow. And this will ultimately means for you, as you step into your authentic self, as you follow your passions and you be who you are, and you're accepting of yourself, you could see a opening of your third eye. And that means that you'll have to trust yourself more, trust your intuition more. That means you really have to be able to have some self-worth. You're going to have to look at the things that you feel, and the things that you intuitively are getting hits on are real for you. And that's going to require a lot of clearing out and making sure that the lower chakras aren't blocked for you, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be tainted with certain muddiness in each one of the chakras. So This is also going to be important because as the Aquarius energy pushes you to step out of your boundaries, you're going to feel like uncertain, and your pineal, your third eye being open, your intuition, your gut feeling, all those things are going to help you navigate through this time period as well. So the more you become yourself, this is the other part of this, is that the more you become yourself, the more that you are spending in your heart and you're opening up your third eye and you're balancing out your energy, you're standing in your authentic self, you're shining your light, you may also become a energy to be attacked upon. The brighter your light, the darker or the bigger the shadow you may cause. And because of that energy, people may gravitate towards you to attack you. It doesn't necessarily mean you're doing things wrong. Remember, this is a co-created existence. So what may happen is that you may feel, as you step into yourself, more attack from those in this structure of the society. But ultimately, what that means is that that is a projection of their one's own self issues. And so as much as you are getting a reflection of everyone else for your own self, you are also a reflection for somebody else as well. And this may be, in this particular case, something about them rather than it being about you. So be mindful of that as you go through these transitions, that what you may experience, especially if you're on the receiving end of an attack, you could be essentially being the divine co-creator to help this other divine being understand themselves through their interaction of them projecting onto you, but may not have anything to do with you besides you just reflecting this piece of them that they desire, but they're attacking you about it. All right. That's really important with regards to the next theme, because release what needs to be released this month. The numerology, the astrology makes it a very powerful time to release the things that you've been hanging on to that don't work with you anymore. Whatever is showing up this month, do not discount it. Feel what needs to be felt. Don't belittle it. Honor it and allow it to move through you and out, and understand where it's coming from. All right. So what I get is this feeling of like these embedded ticks, like ticks that you find on a deer or a moose, these embedded ticks that are just nothing more than a pain in the butt, that are there to just sap your energy, and they aren't good for you. It's like a hard learned behavior that needs to be rooted out from you, a hard learned belief that needs to come out and to be cleared. And a lot of us think in the spiritual world, let's just release it. And it doesn't work. This is something that keeps coming around and around. And I want you to think about the numerology of the 8 here because of karma. You are on this karmic wheel because you don't release the energetic judgment associated with whatever it is that's transpiring and reflecting in your reality. It needs to be rooted out and to be cleared. So be careful here. For many of you, if you are externally distracted by things that draw your attention and draws you down to help you or to hold you to your old you, and you see the same pattern again, that is something manifesting in this reality to help you move you into the new you. You have to be aware of that so you don't fall into the same pattern yet again. It is to help you break that cycle, forgive, to balance out, release out, and to move more into the future with a better harmonious energy going forward. All right. This is part of the transformation that many of you guys are going to go through. This is about coming to a new perspective about yourself, about the experiences that you're having and what has happened to you. This is also about claiming your power back through conflict, through the things that you're seeing and through the judgments. You're finding the heat that's being caused by the friction of your judgments is finally allowing you to come to this place where it's manifesting so that you can let go of these judgments and reclaim your energy, reclaim the things that you've given away, reclaim your power that you've given away to things and low vibrations that have held you back, to unhealthy behaviors and reactions, beliefs and emotions. All right. Think about the hard opinions you have about things. If it's showing up in your reality, Time to understand it, time to inquire, ask about it. Why is this happening for me? What am I really putting my beliefs and an emotional currency into that no longer fit me, right? This is part of the heart chakra I'm talking about here too, because the heart chakra is in transformation. It's about forgiveness and acceptance for yourself and for others, all right? So, forgiveness, being kind, being compassionate. This leads us to the last theme I'm going to talk about here, is that we are being asked to be more loving, compassionate, and patient with regards to our relationships and to ourselves this month as we go through some really crazy, intense time. There's going to be lots of people, perhaps including yourself as well, that are going to be crying out for help and for what they need, or to help them feel the way they want to feel, because they don't want to feel the things that they're holding on to, the traumas. So what this means is that for many of us, if we aren't aware of it, we're not conscious of it, we can get lost in other people's shit. You can get lost in other people's stories, and you can get energetically tied up in it when it's really not yours. You can still have love, you can still have compassion, you can still have patience for people without needing to tie the story emotionally, energetically within your own reality. So have the sense of love and compassion for yourself and for others, but it also means that you need to do the same for yourself. Because I know for a lot of people who are out there that are, maybe they have self-worth issues or traumas they don't want to feel for themselves, and people come crying to them. And what they do, and what a lot of people do, is they'll do anything out of their way to expend their energy at an expense themselves to make other people happy. That's the one I'm talking about. You're going to fall into these people's crying games, and you're going to fall into them emotionally, and you're going to wither yourself away to other people's needs because they're not willing to face it, and you're not willing to face your own stuff, and you could deplete yourself. So this also means, where can you yourself be loving, compassionate, and kind to yourself as well, especially as the energies remain extremely high? How can you be the same to yourself? Where do you need to be loved and treated with fairness and kindness and compassion and have patience for yourself? Where do you need forgiveness as well as those other co-creators that you have in your life? This is a trying time. This is a very transformative time. You can see it in the numerology. You can see it in the astrology. You can talk about it here in the themes. And I assure you, you are going to need to find time so that you can work through these. Find a time to meditate. Find a time to get outside in the ground, as all these high energies keep you up in la land, and you need to bring it down so that you can ground it and be practical about it. Find a time so that you can filter through the energies and the things that are happening in your reality. All right? Do an alarm. Check, I write that in my book. Set an alarm every hour or so you can check in with yourself, so you can understand, am I just unconsciously creating, or am I consciously creating with the type of energy I want going forward for me, which is hopefully with more connection, love, peace, and joy. So hopefully that helps you. I highly recommend all of you go out, get my book if you're going through a lot in your life. This practical spiritual guide that I was given through my own life and from my guides will really help you understand more about how you are creating your reality, and you will find more empowerment through that process. Feel free to reach out to me. I love you. We'll talk to you soon.